Hello, what is? My name is Rajiv, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright History. We are at the lobby from the last part, so just begin. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called me Marshall. It's just you figured out everything out. I haven't figured out anything out. Anna, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you must know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying to his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope we're not the anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I will come back later. Oh, the detective comes here. What is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around on duty. And on top of that, to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Miss Guy. It's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. You made this right. My apologies, detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when I make a request. My name? Never in a million years would have thought it was you who asked me. Could it bother you to bring me the CL9 incident files? I need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The CL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. I can believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Guy was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Know that I brought you stuff, you're going to ignore me? Emma, but why is your name here? What? My name is there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be Lana! The CL9 is that... That's the classification number the police filed it up under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Jodark killings. The Jodark... No, Lana! That's not it, no! Wait, Emma, wait! She ran away. I just remembered I gotta go somewhere. Sorry about it, out of here. Jake Marshall, and you start them again, my Sedgwick. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to these killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you might be able to figure out. Try to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. And you better take a good look at this file. The court will now reconvene for the trial for the trial of Lana's die. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner, I'm just a man same as you, wandering terrors of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross the intersection when needed. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen to hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I have never heard Edward describe that way before. No, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct? According to papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado soul is upon this desert sands, no paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get this quickly. On with this quickly. Please share us your testimony on the day of the crime in English. My job was to keep a very eye on the bone on shore. They said I was supposed to bake runs 3 times a day, but it ain't my style. Besides, they were protected by a security system anyway. If I remember right, I was at the side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time for hit the trail. I guess I particularly care for your attitude. I guess I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute, what do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I recall me having a coat poke, like you knows about those. Yes, but what about the fingerprints activated locks inside the evidence room? Fingerprints activated locks? What kind of newfangled donkey eyes are they on those? He's not very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone got their weaknesses. Now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. My job was to keep a very eye, blah blah. Then I supposed to, Besides, the room was protected. If I remember right, there was at the street-side saloon at the... No, he was here, because we found his fingerprint on it. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you odd that you being called in to testify this? After all, you were in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down, here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind the scene. But the scene, or to be exact, a handprint. Listen really good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects that is make my runs about once a month. It's only natural my fingers would be in there. I only wish if they were, officer. If you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what does the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminous test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulder. I take it that you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may be picking across a testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as his bloodstained handprints. The murder touched the locker with my fingerprints by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or did you know that the murder was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. The witness' explanation appears valid, although there's room to doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may have been no cross-examining witness. This guy had something, I feel it. Now's a chance to prove it. Like I said, it's on the natural from my fingerprints pretty bad. But how did you know about the... How did you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep on the reports. There was a bloodstain at the scene. Told it was to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was one of Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on the handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean Wait a minute. The murderer wearing gloves happened to place his hand on the top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints. That's the only logical conclusion. I can't let him scream out this one. I got to find something. There's something this easy to tie Officer Marshall on this crime. So then, what about the bloody handprints? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints, it just so happened. The chances of that happening are minimum 1. To the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna no reward for me with my fingerprint. You wanna know why? Underrated, there's a difference night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. What's got to do with breakfast with the other types of murder? It's right, although it seems alike, they're totally different. I don't see the homonym had to do with this. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective and the locker still use. All that is where no door is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my parents weren't all over the locker. Our previous fingerprints data was never changed. He must been using the fingerprint locker without even knowing it. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The picture? The seed of blood is in the desert is just food for buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as betrayal isn't there, you can say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider careful what you're doing with this cross-examination. Yes, Honor. No, they continue testimony of Officer Marshall. No. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, is that right, Porter? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But the video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can see. The camera's panning back on the fort and the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, he couldn't leave the room without being caught on tape. Without that time for your speculation, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being one of making a mistake. No, then let's have another look at the video. Show us the evidence of the witness, Officer Marshall. I know already because of the coat. Bring our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you will not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, so are tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words, or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. See this locker that has a white cloth sticking out? This is with this locker. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oof. Oh, the white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth was there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the day of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! It would... Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. That's not my fault. He happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain your parade, but you're the only person who can open this particular locker. Oh yeah, I call you bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The locker can be only opened by detectives' fingerprints. What kind of cross talk is that? Well, Detective Gumshoe didn't mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Jerky. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! What was that? Does he have some windmill or something on him? Like a motor windmill? Like in the movies and all that? No! Order, witness, explain yourself. Is this a joke? This is the worst I have heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. No, please tell us what you were doing in Everest room at the time of the crime. Ole! Ole! And please answer the question. What is it now? A bullfighter? Ole! That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out of here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in Everett's room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Save state. Officer Marshall was standing right here. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost credible as... Shoot! That was the wrong thing! No, they're ganging up on me. Officer Meekins should have seen him in the Everest room. That means the only place that could have been... Officer Marshall was standing here. There, but that's where the victim Detective Goodman was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out that although that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman, he also testified about the man's direction when they confronted. When he entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his ID card, sir. Yes, how did Detective Goodman respond? Is there put a knife on me? Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, that Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. I get it. If he showed that, his covers would have been blown. Officer Marshall Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. I got the term of that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence is not still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break out detective, unless you have here hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can say I care for your beard if you don't But you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence of a shadow that the officer must have left as a victim? Well, who am I kidding? You don't know anything like that. I can see that fear in your eye, partner. Seems you are one who could take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I will pass it to you that someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? The basics? For me, that would be that Mia used to tell me. Nick, try thinking outside the box. I should not look for proof the officer marshal was in a disguise. But I look for evidence that came out because it was disguised. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did. He did, despite the chance of it might be discovered later, as it had been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense argument, Officer Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker to some unknown reason. That fact that the white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps this video is the key to our unanswered question. I don't have evidence of what the video is on my shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at the videotape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the cloth. At the save. I know already because of the blood. For some reason you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what the reason was yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When he asked you to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat! You couldn't have walked out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. No, then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated you all. I hope you are happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as present as you were today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right, it seems the time has come. Sorry guys, I don't have so much time now, so I will end it here. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye.